The year is 1879. The British Empire, in its pursuit of expansion, finds itself at odds with a formidable opponent in southern Africa, the Zulu Kingdom. What unfolds is a war of courage, tragedy, and a clash of cultures that would leave an indelible mark on history. This is the story of the Anglo-Zulu War. To understand the Anglo-Zulu War, we must first set the stage. By the late 19th century, the British Empire had its sights set on expanding its control in southern Africa. The region was rich in resources, and control over it would solidify Britain's dominance on the continent. But standing in their way was the Zulu Kingdom, led by King Setshwayo Kompanda. The Zulu nation was a proud and powerful society, known for its disciplined warriors and military prowess. The British, however, saw the Zulu Kingdom as an obstacle to their ambitions. And so, a confrontation became inevitable. In January 1879, the British issued an ultimatum to King Setshwayo, demanding that he disband his army and submit to British authority. When Setshwayo refused, the British decided to invade Zululand. The British forces, led by Lord Chelmsford, believed that they would easily defeat the primitive Zulus with their modern weaponry. But the British severely underestimated the Zulu warriors. Armed with little more than spears and shields, the Zulus were masters of strategy and guerrilla warfare, capable of moving swiftly and silently through the rugged terrain. The stage was set for a confrontation that will shock the British Empire to its core. The first major engagement of the war took place at Isandlwana on January 22, 1879. The British, confident in their superior numbers and firepower, made a critical mistake by underestimating their enemy. They failed to properly fortify their camp, and when the Zulus launched their attack, the British were caught off guard. The Zulus attacked with overwhelming force, utilizing their signature horns of the buffalo formation, a pincer movement that encircled the British troops. In the chaos that ensued, the British lines crumbled. Despite their rifles and cannons, the British were no match for the relentless Zulu assault. By the end of the day, over 1,300 British soldiers lay dead, marking one of the most humiliating defeats in British military history. But even in the face of such a devastating loss, the British found a moment of heroism. Just hours after the massacre at Isandlwana, a small contingent of British soldiers at the mission station of Rocks Drift found themselves under siege by a large Zulu force. With only around 150 men, the British defenders faced overwhelming odds. For over 12 hours, the defenders held their ground, repelling wave after wave of Zulu attacks. The courage and determination of the British soldiers at Rocks Drift turned what could have been another disaster into a legendary defense. When the dust settled, the British had lost just 17 men, while the Zulus suffered over 350 casualties. Despite their initial victories, the Zulus were ultimately no match for the might of the British Empire. Reinforcements were sent, and the British launched a relentless campaign to crush the Zulu resistance. By July 1879, the war was over, and King Setshwayo was captured and exiled. The Anglo-Zulu War had a profound impact on both the British and the Zulu Kingdom. For the British, it was a costly and bloody conflict that exposed the limits of imperial power. For the Zulus, it marked the end of their independence and the beginning of a painful chapter of colonial subjugation. But the legacy of the Zulu warriors lived on. Their bravery and tenacity in the face of overwhelming odds became the stuff of legend, inspiring generations to come. The Anglo-Zulu War remains a powerful reminder of the complexities and tragedies of colonialism, a war where there were no true winners, only the echoes of a proud nation that fought to the bitter end. The Anglo-Zulu War may have been a relatively short conflict, but its impact was felt for generations. It was a war of empires, but also a war of people who fought, who lost, and who remembered. As we look back on this chapter of history, let us remember the stories of those who lived through it and the lessons it teaches us about the cost of empire and the resilience of the human spirit. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into African history.